Three levels of surrender exists. One is intellectual surrender. Means trusting the master's intellect is much sharper, much more than your intellect. Is intellectual surrender. Next, emotional surrender. Surrendering the emotions. Trusting that master's emotions or the way in which he guides is much more intelligent, that is best than my emotions. Third, surrendering the very senses, very cognition, the cognition which happens inside you, surrendering the root of the cognition itself. Here, surrendering the intellect is very easy because it continuously tortures you. After some years, you have suffered enough with the intellect. You somehow wanted to get rid of it. You just surrender. Surrendering intellect is very, very easy. Just if you see somebody who is more intelligent, clear than your thinking system, you just surrender. For example, if you go to a consultant, naturally you surrender intellectually. You surrender to his ideas. If you go to a lawyer, you surrender legally. You know in that field he is more sharp than you. So you surrender to lawyer in that field. When you go to some accountant, you surrender to him intellectually as far as the accounts concerned, because he knows much more than you in that field. Intellectual surrender is easy. Same way, if you see somebody who has got more knowledge in the spiritual field, intellectually, immediately your intellect surrenders. That's not a big thing. Surrendering intellectually happens very easily. Moreover, you just wanted to get rid of it. You are finding somebody, you are finding some dustbin where you can dump your intellect. So when you find somebody, you just relax from it. Next is emotional surrender. That happens when you feel deeply connected with the master. When you feel deeply connected with the master. When you start experiencing one or two things, little meditation, little bit of understanding, naturally the emotional surrender starts happening. You start respecting his emotions much more than your emotions. Master's emotions means whatever he tries to guide you, whatever way he wants you to live, you start giving importance to that more than what you think as life. Slowly, he becomes the center of your life. Almost like you start respecting him more than all other emotional attachments. The priority is slowly changing. You start thinking in your emotion, in your emotional level, master comes as a number one priority. This is what I call emotional surrender. In the emotional level, you feel connected. Next, a deep level, of course, it's a spiritual technique. Because you all heard enough of these intellectual things, these 17 days, I think now you should understand the deeper levels of techniques. Surrender of senses means even your senses will listen to what he says. One disciple asked Rishi, Vedic Rishi, why should I surrender? What is the need? Master asked, as far as you understand as you, how do you know you? He says, through my senses. According to your senses, who are you? I am this body and mind. Master says, according to your senses, you are body and mind. But according to me, you are God. Only when you surrender your senses, only when your senses starts listening to what I say, you will see the truth of what I am explaining. According to you, according to your senses, you are body and mind. But according to me, you are God. When you surrender your senses, when you believe me more than your senses, you will experience you are God. He says, the moment you believe me more than your senses, you will understand the meaning of Tattvamasi. Master again and again represents the ideal of you are God. Please understand, again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God. Again and again, he stands for the ideal of you are infinite. There are so many dimensions in your being which you have not explored, which you have not experienced. Again and again, he is showing so many dimensions of your being to yourself. He is showing so many dimensions of your being to yourself. Master stands for your multidimensional being. He again and again shows it is possible for you. When it is possible for me, why not for you? But as long as you believe your senses, you will be sure that you are body or mind. Only when you trust Master more than your senses, you will understand Master's words are true than your senses. Then you will experience the truth of Master's words. Then when Master says you are God, suddenly you will realize, yes, that is truth. All these days, my body and mind, my senses are telling, I am body and mind. As long as you believe your senses, you will believe only their ideas. The moment you start believing the Master more than your senses, you will realize the truth which Master explains. Two persons are speaking from two stages. One side your senses, they are saying you are body, you are mind. The other side Master is sitting, he is saying you are God and you are divine. You have so many dimensions of your being. Enjoy everything, experience everything. If you are sitting there and listening, you cannot listen this. Only when you believe this, the words of the Masters, more than the words of the senses, you will be able to experience the truth that you are God. You are ultimate. You are material and spiritual both together and something more.